Over half of the world's money, or around 60%, is made up of US dollars, which are also used in more than 50 other countries. Because central banks utilize US dollars as reserves and because the price of oil is denominated in US dollars, every country owns US dollars. These are the nations that are avoiding using the US dollar in trade. Correspondingly, this is the world as you perceive it. They are building, for example, a BRICS bank at this time as part of bilateral agreements whereby they will keep each other's currencies and handle disputes in that manner. China, Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa are having a bank that will conduct direct currency exchange without using the US dollar. As Iran attempted to do so, these nations tried to avoid using the US currency and US forbade them from using SWIFT. Nobody among us has sent or received money via wire transfer. Therefore, do you understand what is a fast number? That money is transferred from one person's account to another person's account using the SWIFT system by means of a code that you type in. Iran has chosen to only accept euros as payment for oil sales. They were expelled from SWIFT, but nations are currently developing a substitute that does not utilize the dollar but rather the sucrose system, and Iraq has begun trading oil for euros in Libya. They were discussing the development of the gold dinar and the exchange of gold for oil. These are the nations who are attempting to use a currency other than the dollar, and on top of that, you have gold that is being physically accumulated. We will demonstrate to you later that China is stockpiling enormous amounts of gold, but gold accumulation can be seen in all the countries with an up arrow. Then comes the return of gold. Germany has been requesting their gold back and they are now receiving it. If it is placed on schedule, Venezuela's return of its gold to the Bank of England is the final nail in the coffin for the dollar standard. The demise of the dollar is imminent. Nixon put a stop to Bretton Woods and US adopted the dollar standard. Afterward, a rock that sells oil and euros serves as the first nail in the coffin. In the United States, they increased their base money by $1.25 trillion following the 2008 financial crisis. People become concerned about inflation when it is added to the base currency and turn to gold and silver in response. Iran sees its oil sales in US dollars and accepts commodities in exchange for oil. They take the local currency in Turkey, buy gold there, and then export the gold to Iran. Thus, they are essentially trading oil for gold. With India, they operate similarly. More US currency is being printed as part of QE2 or quantitative easing. The dollar is not used by China or Russia. They completed a bilateral trade agreement that allows them to hold each other's currencies and settle debts directly without the need to send money from one country to another. The world's reserve currency, the dollar, is a thing of the past, according to Chinese president who only just announced it as much. Silver and gold were accepted as forms of payment in Utah. Through a bilateral trade agreement, China and Iran avoided the US dollar. Venezuela returns its gold. Direct trade exists between China and Japan. Japan and India avoid using the US money. Also, the direct trade exists between Russia and Iran. Iran trades its oil for rupees and other commodities with India. Direct trade exists between China and Brazil. Restitute of gold is demanded by Swiss citizens. The dollar is forbidden in Africa. If you spend US currency in Zambia, you risk going to jail. Third, quantitative easing. The Federal Reserve has declared that it will increase the amount of money it generates each month from the initial $40 billion to $85 billion. It is greater than $1 trillion annually, and bear in mind that it took 200 years to go from having no money to having $825 billion. Now they plan to create $1 trillion annually. Iran's energy for the gold exchange. Singapore does away with the money tax from the New York Fed. Germany receives 150 tons of gold. The citizens of the Netherlands demand that the gold be returned. Part of Ecuador's gold reserves are sent home. Citizens of Austria calling for the return of gold. China recognizes the underlying gold market deficit, and the Fed is currently creating more money at a rate of 40 to 85 billion per month, or slightly over $1 trillion per year. So those are the final nails in the coffin for the dollar standard, and as you may have seen, they are all striking right now and accelerating up. You don't have much time, and if you wait too long, the chance will pass by you. Thus, Chinese holdings have undergone these adjustments. They are gathering gold, they say. US Treasury bonds are being disposed of. China is the owner of this gold. On this scale, the accumulated gold is represented by the green line. So, over the previous 2 years, they have increased their purchase, and it has increased from roughly 700 tons to almost 6,000 tons. They are taking precautions because they are aware that the dollar standard is ending and that gold backed currencies will likely be used in the future. Chinese yuan, when it happens, this won't be pleasant to see. You are confined to playing the cards that have been handed to you. There has simply been too much energy built up in this one that has to be released. It must somehow come tumbling down if we switch to a new monetary system, which is absolutely necessary. When that occurs, there is a significant wealth transfer for those who are on one side of the bet or the other. However, many are unaware that whether they realize it or not, they are making the gamble and are involved. Whether you choose to engage or not, this money transfer has an impact on everyone. If you have plastic assets and paper money, you are betting on one direction to win. If you own gold and other tangible things, you have placed a wager going the contrary way. That's all for today, folks. Take care of yourself. Give us your thoughts on this in the comment section. And if you appreciate our content, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your family and friends. We will meet soon in a new video. Thank you. Jai Hind.